Hi everyone, it's Emmis here. Today we're going to talk about colouring white images where you could just leave the stamp piece white, but it does help if you use some shading techniques. You can see this little girl, that's the stamped image, it's a Lily of the Valley stamp. And here you can see what she looks like coloured in, and you can see that I've just added some shadow and depth to the image with a very pale grey, and it does bring the image alive. So we're going to do that very quickly with this little chef chap that it's a Stampin' Up stamp. I don't actually like the way that Stampin' Up have done this. I know it's supposed to be a very sketchy stamp. So what I'm doing, I'm using a Memento pen. It's a marker pen, and they're really useful. They don't smear with alcohol markers. And if you stamp an image where you get a little bit that's not filled in properly, you can use it. I don't like the fact that this chap is all in white, because in my experience chefs actually have coloured trousers, so I'm going to give him some check trousers, which would just make the finished effect a little bit more interesting, I think. I don't know why he has to have check trousers, but in my experience chefs don't wear white all over, and I just think he looks more interesting that way. I've already coloured his face in, so we'll very quickly give him a bit of colour. On the trousers, and you can see that I'm doing this in quite a sketchy sort of way, because the stamp is a sketchy one. You can see where it just looks as though somebody's just drawn, so that'll do for that. And I'm going to give him a red scarf. You can see that the fine tips of the Promarkers are really useful for fine work like this. I'm using poppy and cardinal red. Okay, so all that's left really is using ice grey 1. I'm just going to add some shadows where there would be shadows underneath his cuff, along this seam on his jacket, around the buttons, where his arm meets his jacket, and along this bottom edge. And the same on his hat. You'll probably be able to see the effect more in in the finished card. I'll very, very quickly do the food. You can see that I'm not even colouring in all the grapes, I'm just dotting colour. I think we'll make the little cloth blue. And there you go. And here's what he looks like finished, as it were. I'm not sure if the camera's actually picking that up, but you can see that you do get quite a lot of definition that you wouldn't otherwise have, even though his jacket is totally white and looks uncoloured. It does help to give a more professional look. So just add some grey shadows, and I would probably shadow the image itself on, in this case, in a blue. To add a bit of depth to it all. There we go. One little chef that stands out a lot more than he would if you'd just left the image totally uncovered. So I hope this helps with this sort of image, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.